Everyone, welcome to our live Q&A. Myself, Ashali Yardley, my lovely daughter Crystal joining me. We're going to be answering audience questions. So for those of you that are new here, we do these live Q&As every Tuesday at this time. And we've already got lots of familiar faces, friends, community. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Thank you for your lovely questions.
Hello.
Tuning in with the energies at this time and how we can, I guess, gather, constellate our attention towards some topics. It feels like we're weaving dreams on these Tuesday lives, that we are open to your questions and somehow they take us on a collective journey. And even though it seems like it might be, not necessarily all the things that are in the news right at this moment, it often shows us a kind of, I want to say, energetic map of what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, yay. Thank you.
Love and gratitude to you as well.
Welcome, everyone. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe here on our YouTube channel. And you can also follow us on Rumble. Let's jump in, Crystal.
Lots of people coming in. Hi, everyone.
So fun. So fun.
Okay. So, what are we jumping right into? Questions?
First question.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Is Mother Gaia fully charged up yet?
Is Mother Gaia? Let's just tune in with Gaia and
just tune in.
See how Gaia is feeling at this time. We'll bring the cards up and have a look.
We also, I think at some point, should chat a little bit about the time change scenario.
Yeah, I talked about it yesterday on my forecast. Okay. Yeah, so we are, we've gone through the apparently final time change of daylight savings here in Western Canada and British Columbia. And thankfully, we've stopped this insanity on the correct time.
What we saw was going to be the most beneficial time frame for us. Yeah.
And, we did a deep dive on this, a couple of them actually. We did one on our Beyond Mystic Down the Rabbit Hole, and we did another one on one of our lives a couple of months back here, our live Q&As. And we were shocked to see how much of an impact this time change has on our human psyche and our ability to ground. And it was really about, if you think of us like being a large toroidal generator that is balanced between earth and cosmos. Crystal led a beautiful meditation yesterday and described that perfectly, how we are channels for universal energy, and we are connectors, divine connectors between Gaia and cosmic intelligence, like earth, I want to say wisdom, the ability, I see the earth as a giant toroidal field that is literally generating matter out of consciousness. We are part of that generation of matter out of consciousness. And so when we are being forced to come into some kind of acknowledgement of time that is in contrast to where we actually are related to the sun and the earth at any given moment, when we're pulled out of alignment with that, it actually wreaks havoc with our ability to be these cosmic generators here in the space-time reality. And it's dark magic, basically, is what we saw last time. We saw that it is so incredibly disruptive, and it's different than going through different time zones, because when you travel through space to a different location on the planet, you are now aligned at a different angle to the relationship with the stars and the sun. And then it makes sense that you've changed that time. But if you stay in one place and you continue to distort time in that location, whoa. Yeah. So we're happy to say that that has finally come to a close.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
In British Columbia, at least,
Mhm.
Canada.
So
So we're
Gaia,
gonna have a look at Gaia.
what do we need to know? Oh, I was
Oh.
going to do a focus, and this is if we're asking, well, us, we are asking the question, we're the querents, that's how you say it in tarot spread lingo, we're querents. And what do we need to know about Gaia?
Mm.
What do we need to know is the Seven
Mhm.
of Wands. The Seven of Wands. It's well, what do you say about this card, Crystal? I love how you describe it.
Well, I describe him as the tightrope walker.
Mm,
It looks like that to me. You know, he's kind of he's straddling the divide in this particular card, and
mhm,
it's very much sort of like juggling a bit and keeping things together. But if we look at him like the tightrope walker, it's very much like walking that fine line between like not going too extreme and also not just going dormant or like
Ooh.
not having, you know, just being in full peace. Like it feels like there's a lot of juggling energies and systems and stuff like that. And I think that what happens too is that we get these, what we see as big natural disasters, but it actually could be quite a lot worse. Like it
Mhm,
actually could
mhm.
be complete world devastation or you know, like another ice age or something like that. So the smaller, what feels really big to us is actually the offshoots to keep her in
Mhm.
balance.
Yeah, I say like that pressure valve on your pressure
Yeah.
cooker, letting some steam off. And interesting, right? Like 70% is perfection, according to what I've learned over decades of study with metaphysics. 77.7 is the harmonic frequency of perfection because there's always growth. It isn't, as Crystal said, it isn't stagnant, but it isn't overcompensating. It's in that harmonic. So your question, Leo, is how fully charged up Gaia is. Well, she's about 70%. So
Mm.
almost fully charged, because if you
Mhm.
saw the top up to ultimate frequency health for Gaia, it would be 77. And if she's at around 70, well, she's close.
Mm.
And then here's us. What are we doing to help her stay in balance, to stay in that equilibrium? And a 7 is the spiritual number. 8 is more the purposeful manifestation, like working with the infinite energy to constantly, I want to say, build strong connection with it, build a strong relationship with it.
Mhm.
Let's look into the past. Okay. I think the fact that we're focusing on supporting Gaia through this time, and that's a bit different from the epochs in the past where people just were kind of, I don't want to say at the mercy of Gaia. I want to say that they were so immersed in Gaia that they couldn't help. It's almost like I'm being shown the analogy of a family, a mother and her children. And when the children are too young, if the mother is in a challenged circumstance, they
Mm.
can't really help. They are along for that ride of chaos with her. They can't really support her a lot. But when the children are more grown and evolved and mature, if the mother is going through crises, they can actually care for her. That to me feels like where we are in our
Yeah, that
collective.
page to me felt like, you know, so much of what we struggle with as a singular human is like, what can I really do to make you know, change the world or really support the earth? Because, you know, it seems like humanity does so much devastation of the earth. And, you know, what's my little footprint going to make? Um, but that's where we've, you know, sort of been. It's a more feeling like we're just the little guy.
Yeah, that our
Mhm.
mother is so big and all encompassing, and we have to just go with the fallout of, I want to say her emotional whims, but the big processes that she needs to go through. And it feels like we're now in a more, I want to say, empowered place, being the strength card. We're like, actually, we can help. And we want to help. Look at that. And there's a globe in this person's hand. So we see the bigger picture now. We're not just taking everything personally. It's like, oh no, Gaia's doing this. Like, again, feeling like we have no agency. When our mother's upset, we just get the fallout. But they're saying we're now looking at this from a higher lens, a bigger picture lens, and feeling this is the very empowered. These two cards are a lot about confidence, coming at things from an educated perspective, making good choices. The Two of Wands.
Yeah, seeing the big picture, the whole.
Oh, and then getting to work in the earth, getting our hands and our feet, and not just like grounding with earth, but working with her, like, regenerating soil health and planting new food forests and, replanting some of the wilderness. It's interesting. Years ago, I had a download came through, a couple of them actually. Often they come in segments, right? Over a month or so, I'll get a whole storyline about something in people's readings. And it was about us, other earlier or maybe future versions of us seeding Earth. And I got something that felt like I heard that it was connected to Venus, the planet Venus. And it was about basically coming to Earth to, as permaculture farmers do, to build a beautiful ecosystem here. And a lot of what we see as our incredible ancient forests and, like the Amazon and some of these extraordinary forested areas were cultivated intentionally by beings like us. And we're going to do that again over this next several decades and centuries. We're going to be terraforming Earth in a beautiful way, in a very intentional way, very supportive way. And it starts with just things like in the Anastasia books, where it's like we each have our own little plot and we get to learn to get back in touch with how to create our own little corner of paradise in our own gardens. Okay. So this is our advice. I just want to say, don't take it personally.
Yeah, I mean, don't take it personally. And also that, just like this strength card with that infinity symbol, it feels like we're sharing this job. The earth and us have equal roles in transmuting all of the grief, all of the chaos, that is, Mother Earth has agreed to be the host for humanity, and we have agreed to inhabit the earth. And so we both have the responsibility to activate and transmute the grief and the chaos, because it's that balance. It's the light and the dark, and that is connected to the balance of the light and the dark that is in all of the cosmos and
within us.
So, I feel that we can't take it personally, and we don't need to feel like she's taking it personally either. It's like we both have signed up.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Exactly that. Like, I'm hearing Gaia say, I don't take it personally that you all are kind of bonkers and parasitically like making a mess of my topsoil, like the top of my planet. She's like, I don't take that personally. You guys are like, it's like children in the playground, you're making a big old mess. that's okay. She's like, that's how you're gonna, oh, I'm getting chilled all over when I'm saying this. I'm literally channeling Gaia. She's like, of course, you're just my little children. That's how you're gonna learn. You gotta learn to play in the playground. And
Mhm.
oh, you're gonna make a big old mess and okay, dump a bunch of garbage and poop in the sandbox or whatever. We're gonna have to clean all that up, but that's okay. She's like, that's how you learn. And she's not taking it personally. And she's saying, don't you take personally when I clean house.
Yeah.
And have to go through some upheavals.
Yeah.
She's saying, I'm not doing it to hurt you. I'm not doing it
Yeah.
to punish you. And this is where I think we got a little off track in the end of the last epoch. And what I'm speaking about is these epochs that happen every 2,500 years. And the larger epochs, which are the yuga cycles. So as we've gone through these epochs and yuga cycles, we've come into a denser experience in 3D. But actually, you would think, oh, we're denser and we're not as spiritual. The opposite is true. We're actually becoming more and more spiritual and self-aware. And so it looks bad, but we're actually getting healthier and stronger and more able to show up and support Gaia. She's not mad at us. She's not mad. And she doesn't want us to take her. She's not reacting to us. She's evolving with us. She's helping us grow up, is what I'm hearing.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks,
Thanks,
you,
Mama.
Leo.
Thanks, Mama. This all so flew out while I was shuffling.
Ooh.
And that's that alchemy, right? That's that, the healing, the timing card, trusting that we are here at the most divine time doing this job together.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, it's healing.
It's like we've been a cause in a way of the illness, but we are also the doctors that have the medicine to heal it and cure it. And it's all a learning experience. And it's coming through the water as well. So there's a lot about healing will happen in relation to our relationship to water.
Mm-hmm.
The water has a huge role in healing.
Amen.
Going forward.
Yeah. Yes. Disabled veteran, I connect with the field every day, sending healing energy into the earth through my palms by my focused intentions while meditating. Yes. Thank you so much, Ricky,
for that beautiful work.
I was going to say, all that we're talking about, Ricky is such a superstar at that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome everyone who's continuously popping on and joining us. We've got a very interesting next topic here. Hi, Angela. Lots of photos coming out showing rock formations that look like huge petrified animals and people. Are we the Lilliputians in Gulliver's Travels, written in 1726 by Jonathan Swift?
Right.
Also, are there smaller races of people still alive today that would see us as the giants?
Ooh, this is so fun.
Yeah, I knew you'd like this one, Mom.
Yeah. So thanks, Angela. Great questions.
Angela.
Super fun questions. When we start weaving mythologies and stories that are often being recycled and retold in different versions, we're getting into some of the magical mystery of what the riddle of this life on planet Earth is all about. And so this idea that we hear in so many mythologies, oh yeah, that being got turned into stone. I mean, it's in every tradition around the world. And we think, okay, that just seems ridiculous, right? We're like, oh, I get it. They looked and said, oh, that kind of looks like a being, but is it ridiculous? Number one. So I'm going to ask two questions. I'm going to start with, what do we need to know about those rock formations? And secondly, with regard to, are we the, I can't remember.
Giants.
Well, are we
the
Lilliputians? That one. And are we seen as giants? Because I feel like the whole story of the different sizes of people on planet Earth is actually a window into interdimensionality.
Mm.
Because if you look at so many stories, and it's funny
Mm.
because I actually had a dream about a friend of mine last night that got small and then got big.
Mhm.
And so this is up. This is up. It's in our ontology. We're meant to look at this right now. So let's start by looking at the stone
Stones. The stones.
formation.
Rock formations that look like huge petrified animals and people. Dun, dun, dun,
Da,
dun,
da,
dun, 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 dun,
da.
dun. Well, why don't we do 3 on each? Or,
Okay.
you know what I
Sure.
mean? Like 3
Yep.
on the rocks, 3 on if we're Lelupians, 3 on if there's smaller people
Sure.
under the giants.
Let's do it. I love it. Thanks, Crystal.
Yeah, because if we do focus on it all, we'll just talk the show away, and there's lots of cool questions.
Okay. So,
Okay,
the
interesting.
rock formations it's interesting because I'm looking at these cloud formations and I'm like, wow, they look like creatures, don't they?
Mm.
Also, I want to bring your attention, as we do with tarot, to the directions that the different characters are facing. So these two are both holding a swords, but they're standing here but looking that way. And in how I determine something I call visual divination with the cards is that we look at placements and orientation even around the direction that characters are facing in the layout.
Mhm.
That this side represents the past, because here in Western civilization we read from left to right, and so anything on this side is already in the past. If we're in the middle, this is or has already happened, and this is yet to come on the right side. So we have this story comes from way, way, way long ago in the past, but it's almost like they're saying it hasn't happened yet.
Mm.
Right? This is where we get into the infinite loops. And I keep hearing that a version of this happens over and over and over again. Like this is something that repeats over long cycles of time. Is that 200,000 years or something like that? Like long, long epoch cycles. So almost as though there are energies that are petrified in the rock at the end of an epoch so that they're held kind of in their intact form. And then as the next cycle that is like a repeat of that rock becomes like not liquid, but malleable. And then they are released from that. And then they pick up in this new time, like, as we see evolution doesn't happen. It's not a circle of cycles. We do change each time we come back to the same location. It's like a spiral through time and space. But the next time they come back and pop into reality, we've evolved and they carry on from where they left off, but they have they're in a new place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's a bridge. And
let's look at the other two comparatively.
Great. Love it.
Yep.
So the next is, are we the Lilliputians?
I don't know what the Lilliputians are, to be honest with you.
It's
I don't
in the
remember.
Yeah.
I know what's in the story.
Okay. Okay, now I got to really tune in for a second. Look at this. There's we've been told part of the story, but we don't have the whole story.
Which we've suspected all the way along here, right?
Even in the Gulliver's Travels story,
Yeah.
It's not the whole story.
Yeah.
And I do get the feeling that it's interesting. You know, there's a lot of the fairy tales from around the world, like all cultures, where they say, oh, yeah, something happened and like the place got frozen in time, or they were put under a spell and the whole kingdom fell asleep, like all of our Western European fairy tales, like, like, Sleeping Beauty or whatever, like everything went to sleep for 100 years and then it woke up and it was exactly as if not a second had gone by. And I just am drawn to this tower being like, everyone was held in kind of homeostasis in that tower. So are we the Lilliputians? It's half true, but we got somehow, I want to say, put under a spell.
Mm.
And that spell is being pulled off. And that also connects with the deep state and the agendas and, the cabal, which has been going on for several thousand years, building its artificial web, the eighth
'Cause
sphere.
this is all metaphorically speaking, right? Like it's like
But metaphysically as well.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we are connected to that story and connected to that role, but we are also kind of held in this spell, which is now the spell is breaking. Wow.
So lastly, also, are there smaller races of people still alive today that would see us as giants?
It's, yes. And even, I mean, I studied anthropology, cultural anthropology, 30 something years now ago. And there were tiny people, the pygmy people in Africa, where they're very, very small. And we are absolutely like giants to them. So we do know that there's a small percentage of the global population. It
We
also
also
is,
have little people.
we also have little people, and it is also it's buried in our DNA. So giants and what we would call pygmies or tiny people are buried in our DNA. There's a whole range. And we see that at these junctures where we're about to go into a new epoch, it's sort of like a bit of an open, like the DNA gene pool opens up and a lot of different versions can come in. And it's one of the reasons why we want to call in really beautiful souls right now, intentionally to conceive, to bring healing, to bring medicine, to bring old wisdom back, to bring like some of these beings that are going to be released from the rock. That's what I'm getting. It's very magical. It's a beautiful question, Angela.
It is. And really none of it looks like like we've got a bit of a yes here. But none of it looks like we're meant to know the whole picture right now. All of it looks like we're still very much in the discovery of what we're meant to do with the metaphysical, metaphoric story and how we relate to that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fascinating.
Thanks, Angela.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise. Likewise.
Was it a false flag in Toronto, Ontario, Canada shooting at the US building?
Oh, yes, I heard about that. Okay.
Would you like to shuffle on it and have a look quickly?
I'm going to do a focus.
Okay, Mara.
Yeah. Here's us. A lot of sevens today. This is number 17. Q. Right? But there's a lot of sevens in the spreads I've noticed today. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So 7 is a spiritual number, metaphysical number. It's a lucky number. It connects to, you know, all these mythologies about the Pleiades and the seven sisters, and so many mythologies throughout all of our ancient history have this magical 7 energy to them. So we are in this kind of, I don't want to say elite, but we are in this very special uh, awareness of things, magical. We're opening to magic in a beautiful way. Was it a false flag? Hmm. Okay, I'm going to get you to answer this, Crystal, because it feels like, let's look at all of
if you
them.
put them all down, that would be super. Thank you.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Not sure yet, but I have a feeling Crystal has a sense of it.
Oh, I do. Keep going.
Yeah, okay. She's like, finish the job, Mom. Come on. Ooh.
Okay. I don't know that it was, okay, was it a false flag? Part of it feels like a designed timing thing. Like when I look at this, it feels like there's kind of like a waiting for the right time to strike.
Mhm.
And then it kind of came about, and then it feels like something's gotten activated through this occurring.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that, I feel like it's planned. But it's like everything that comes after something that's been planned is kind of, then it's everybody's game.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
it's almost more like it's a bit more like a test.
There's an intention behind what they want to do with it, but then there's also how it actually affects us, and what the collective ends up doing with it. And so it's like there's like waiting for the right time, having the foundation set, making the move, having the action be instigated, but then when it actually what it actually activates in us is not always
what's
the
intended.
whole of what's intended.
Yeah, but what does feel important is there's something about us being kind of kept on our toes and like not stagnating at this time. It's really important in this fire horse year. But look at this, because we have the beautiful, innocence harmony card in emotions and the joy and celebration. So there's something about like bringing common themes, bringing people together, part of a reset, part of an upgrade. And I agree with Crystal. I get that there's this sort of level of doing something for a certain reason, but there's a higher level of spiritual activation. Like she said, everything is possible. That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, these tragic situations,
or potentially
tragic, is like, what is it meant to be actually activating in us, and how are we meant to be pushed in a certain direction, or coming together in more unity, in greater harmonized ways, and prioritizing. This feels like bringing back old systems of working with children, and are tapping back into with these two, right? Tapping back into the coming together and unifying in celebration.
something
matter
to
what occurs.
to bring people together in a relatively, I want to say relatively harmless way.
Mhm.
Okay.
So John Dissel says, and the false flag is to manipulate.
Well, okay, but that's what we were
Right.
just saying, John. It's like it opens up something that actually.
Oh, hang on. This is following this. For me, the giants could not multiply and are a product of human and angelic union. Oh, this is different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. USA. Look at right there.
Versus Congressional Building shot in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, CA. But love to know who did it.
Who did it?
Who done it?
Okay, so sorry, but when we get the fool, when we ask a specific question, it's always like you're not meant to know right at this moment.
Yeah.
But again, focus on this is going to be good in the long run. It's going to open things up in a positive way. So there is a lower version and a higher version of who did it. And that again is to me like this lower dimensional agendas, but the higher dimensional beings are like causing those lower dimensional agendas to happen, which, like Crystal said, opens up a kind of free reign on growth. And we get to take it in whatever direction we want. And we're doing really well.
Yeah.
We're doing well. It's almost like whatever was designed was to make us feel despair and grief and like, oh, disappointment, but we're actually taking it in a positive direction is what I'm hearing.
Like it's like they're losing steam. All of the false flags, it's like crying wolf. It's like continuously, the more they do it, the more it loses steam, and the more that we amplify into our greatness. And for Life says, I have no idea what event you're referring to, but energy tells me that it was the first things to happen, and another thing can now happen, and then the intention will flip the whole agenda over.
And I feel like, the agenda gets flipped over little by little in increments that are manageable for us to actually like catch up energetically. For one, for us, it's kind of like we're constantly, again, I want to bring you back to this is our audience. Those of us that are relatively awake, conscious, truthers, and so on, we are in this position of being in the know. And every time something happens, we fill in another little piece of the big puzzle. We're not ever meant to know it all. What we're meant is to get a sense of, okay, things are not always as they seem, but generally things are moving in the direction we want them to.
Yeah.
That's the most important
Also,
thing.
to me, what do you do if you know the truth? Like it's
Well,
if we were to tell you right now that this is the truth of what really happened, how does that really change essentially the way that you're navigating life? It's like
we're given the specific details about things at the time where they'll be most useful for us. And we really want to, trust that. Trust that. Because this card has to do with trust. And it isn't something you can fake. What you want to ask is your body and your emotions. If your body is going, I know this is happening, but I actually feel calmer and less anxious than I did a couple of years ago. Even though things look crazy, I feel better. Listen to that. Listen to that. Your body knows, your emotions know. And generally speaking, the emotional responses to everything that's going on the planet right now are so much healthier than they used to be. Yeah. Aww.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that one on the increments. Yeah. Thank you. Go to our next question. That was so fun. It was so fun to get to look at
Fairly Morn
these
has
things.
questions. It It seems like there's weird weather in many places around the world. Is this
Mm.
engineered or natural?
Okay, let's do as you say before. Yes, absolutely. Engineered on this side, natural on this side, and
Yeah.
we'll have a look at ratios. We just did a bunch of ratio
We
spreads
sure
this
did this
morning for
morning.
ourselves personally. What are the ratios of this to this? And
Mhm.
I spoke about what would be really beneficial to work on this week with all those nines. If you were watching my live yesterday, my forecast was talking about all these nines, which is a lot of, kind of finalizing things and wrapping up loose ends and synthesis, integration of things from the past, especially. And where was I going with that? Anyway, that's what we're doing.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
That was my point out that I'm not AI move for today. AI wouldn't have made a bundle like that. Bumble like that. Oh, there's the 9 that I was just talking about. Okay, so this is engineered, and over here is going to be natural. And the percentages. Oh, another 9. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
3
I was
nines.
you saw us shuffling. I was just talking about all those 9s.
That's wild. We're magical people. All of us magical.
Look at this. That's the number 9. The Hermit is the 9 major arcana, and we've got the 9 of Wands and then Pentacles. Gosh, now I really got to remember where I was going with that thought. Oh, Lordy. Okay.
Well, is this engineered or natural?
So that's engineered, and this is natural. Okay, natural. Oh. Okay, I want to say there is a manipulation intention to try to pull nature into a predictable outcome. I don't think nature complies.
I agree.
I think nature does whatever the what it wants. It is not harnessable.
No.
I think that it drives these ones that have these agendas to control crazy because they just can't. They literally think they've got it sewn up, and then nature pulls a wild card out, and nature's got indefinite amount of wild cards from here to eternity. Indefinite. It's like, so I love your question, Early Morn, because what it's showing is that these controllers have tried every trick in the book. They've done everything. They've tried sewing up every angle of weather manipulation, and it always starts off looking like they can control it, and it ends up blowing their algorithms. The algorithms are always ultimately nature trumps the algorithm.
Yeah.
And that leaves these beings feeling very afraid and very vulnerable and alone. Because if you came here to prove that you could trump nature and like control the natural realm, universal consciousness, and that you threw your lot in like the fallen angelic realms did. They threw everything they had at this, like, we're going to do this or die. Well, you'd be at that point where you're like, we never could fully do it.
The ontology of this reminds me, I actually watched a movie last night called Ordinary Angels on Netflix. And it's a true story about a sort of woman that's she's a hairstylist, actually. She's a little messy. having a rough time in life, and she hears about this family who is basically fighting for this little girl that it has needs a liver transplant in the US, and they're having to pay all this money and yada yada. Anyhow, it's a true story about how she helps them out, but ultimately, in the end, the whole community ends up coming together, and there's an extreme weather storm. It's like in 1994 or something like that, and it's like the craziest weather storm that's ever hit this part of the US. And the way that the community comes together to make this girl's, what this girl needs to happen is like there's something where, again, these extreme weathers, or even like what's happening with sometimes during like long, cold, gray, snowy winters, we get pushed further and further and deeper into that process of hibernation, and potentially even like darker work, shadow work, and stuff like that. That is the great invitation from the holy wild to invite us into those spaces. That's not always a bad thing. And the way that we can come together during those times when we're pushed to these places is actually may serve us in ways that we're just not expecting.
Interesting. Fit for Life is saying, I believe nature is moving into less weather and
Mhm.
temperature swings across the entire realm. Nature wins. Again, we just don't know what's in store for us. Wouldn't that be a really lovely thing to contemplate, that we could have a temperate planet in the next, at least century or two? Isn't that a lovely thought, that we could have a beautiful temperate planet?
Right.
And that we wouldn't have to go through these incredible extremes. Why have these extremes been necessary? Because we had to go into this dense work, this dense evolutionary work, which doesn't mean we're going backwards. It means we're going deeper into our, I want to say, purpose.
Well, even in the movie, it right before, a few months before this crazy snowstorm happened, a tornado went through the town and devastated all of these homes. But the dad, who was all of a sudden a single dad taking care of this kid, decided, oh, I can roof. So he rebuilt all these roofs, and that's what gave him a lot of the money to be able to make this possible. Like, you just don't know. It's what you end up doing with it.
Okay, I'm
Right?
going to actually look at what we need to know about our response to this. Look at this.
Okay. Okay, Crystal, I get that nature is a catalyst for human response. I know I love you.
Catastrophophobia. Catastrophophobia. Barbara Handclout. Years ago, I read her writings on, we have a, I want to say, inherited trauma related to extreme natural disasters as the human species, because we've gone in each of the shifting of the epochs, we've gone into catastrophic weather and earth changes that left us with this trauma scar of fear and a desire to control nature. But that is actually the descent down into the dark yuga cycle. That's not the whole cycle. The majority of the cycle, nature is our strong ally, benefactor, support, healer. It's just in that descent that we go through a lot of trauma. And that's all we remember. It's kind of like, you ever have those nights where you have a nightmare and you wake up in the morning and it's still with you for a while. You're like, I can't seem to shake that. But slowly, as you integrate maybe the healing of that, and then maybe, a few nights later, you have a beautiful dream and you're like, okay, I feel better now. It was a cycle that we went through, and it's in the past. So we're not going to repeat that. We don't need to have another deep plunge into trauma. The traumas are behind us. We are recovering and coming out into,
Yep.
yeah, look at that. Coming back into a loving connection with Gaia
Harmonious.
and feeling safe and comforted. The
Mhm.
storms are over. Yes, we'll still see storms, but even our reaction to them is not as terrifying.
Well, you start to build systems
And
of response.
systems of response and
Yeah.
trust. And you know what? We got through it.
Mhm.
And we still love her.
Mhm.
Like we still love our mother.
Mhm.
She had these tantrums. We needed to learn those lessons. We still love her. In fact, in a way, we love her more.
Mm.
And now we can help her heal as well, because that was hard for her too. Right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you, Dawn.
Mhm.
Anything else, Mama? Before we move on to the next one?
I'm ready for the
We
next
got the
one.
big T-man popping up here.
Okay, let's do it.
Can you please draw a card for Dawn?
Do that. That's funny. I have a song in my head. I'll see what the cards say before I tell you it.
Well, right.
Well, all right.
Okay, let's see here. This feller. Oh, yeah, that's done.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got this one. And I'm
You're
going
most
to
welcome.
do 3 cards.
We love the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Master planner. Like I get a feeling that things have gone quite well in Trump's estimation, and he's got a very big card to play
Yeah.
now. He's about to like do a major play. And he's quite confident, and then he's going to back away.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's got one more major play, and then he literally kind of goes into the song I had was like, show me, you know, that drunken sailor song, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a drink an hour ago and it went right to my head. I'm kind of getting,
funny.
I'm getting that he's kind of going, oh, okay, I'm getting a little tired and I just want to go to bed. I just want to like take some time off, and like the guy needs a holiday, everybody. You know, he's tired. But he's so on point. Like he's everything that he, you know, I'm a Gemini, he's a Gemini. I get it. He had his master plan 0.2 million.0 kind of thing, all the different versions of it, and I feel like he's pretty happy with the way it's gone. And you know, we can all analyze the heck out of it and criticize the heck out of it, but I think overall he feels pretty accomplished with the way it's all unfolded, and he does have a major card to play within, I think, the next 5 weeks, 5 months at the most, and then I think he's going to kind of go into some sort of semi-retirement after that and, you know, step into the background a little bit.
John follows it up with, has he sold out to the military industrial complex?
Well, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? He loves to bluff. He loves to bluff. Oh, yeah. But he's got way more tricks up his sleeve. And this major one, it's sort of like, well, I'm being shown a pool game, and I don't play pool, but I've kind of watched some people, and you know how they set up their, like, it's like, okay, that person's going to do this, but then I'm going to put this here so that when they do that, it'll put my, you know, line perfectly so I can. He's
Mm.
strategizing like that, and he's basically, I'm hearing he's going, oh yeah, they did exactly what I wanted them to. And now it lines me up perfectly to play this big hand. So he's bluffing.
Yes.
He's bluffing beautifully. Now, I want to say, I've never been all 100% behind the Trump brand. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not a put everything, all my faith in anything. Um, in my own intention, integrity, and connection to source, that's about the only thing I have faith in. But like true faith in. But I see a role that he's played and a kind of masterful plan that he's done a phenomenal job of executing, and he's the ultimate bluffer as well. So, yeah, the poker hand, right? This is, and I do truly believe that he was chosen on whatever level by, deep state or the White Hats, whoever has chosen him, it doesn't really matter at this point. He's done a really good job of doing certain maneuvers that the much higher, uh, authorities have designed him to play that role. And he's done a good job of that role, is what I'm getting. And yeah, look at that. So whether he did sell out to some extent, it's almost like the only thing he can't out bluff is the higher source.
Yeah. I mean, the sellouts are, that necessary venom. Like, it's kind of like the sellouts, you have to happen. There has to be certain aspects of playing that game in order to play the bigger card, right?
You have to be willing to
We've been
lose some of the
saying
battles
that
to win
about
the war.
him and, RFK the whole time.
And yet, we still aren't sure. I'm not entirely sure which side he's on.
Exactly.
But the point is, he's doing a good job of articulating these evolutionary unfoldings, which is the higher version of what needs to happen. When the very beginning, way back when he first got elected years ago, I was like, he's perfect. He's the right amount of trickster, catalyst. Like, this is what the world needs. I've been, a truther since I was a teenager. I'd been for, at that point, almost 30 years of just walking around with like inside a cement block. Just there's no give. Nobody wants to change. Everybody's locked into this paradigm. There's so little light getting in. And then I saw this and I was like, awesome.
I know,
Now
I was
heads
right
are going to
freaked out.
roll. Heads are going to roll.
Freaked out, even though I was living in conservative land up north. I was like, I'd been such a, open-hearted, open-minded, somewhat liberalish human. And I've seen it play out where I've really
I was like, this is
opened.
This is the perfect medicine. We need a shakeup. And we don't need to be placated. We need to be instigated.
Yeah.
And boy, it's worked, hasn't it?
Well, that's that's the only thing here is the instigation card, right? Those 5s, chaos, the opportunities for the upgrade.
And, he can lead us to that opening. He can lead us. His moves have given us freedom. There's an opening here. We have to take it. We have to go through. He's not going to coddle us and carry us through that freedom opening. We've got to go for it. We got to go our own way. His job will be done. Get that opening. And then we got to take that window and like horses seeing their opening, racehorses, when you see that window, go. We all got to go through that into liberation, freedom. Take our freedoms. Don't wait for them to be given to us. Grab those things. Go for it. Sovereignty, new financial systems, new independent education systems, just totally changed that old paradigm. He's opened the opening is there. He's opened it up for us to grab freedom.
Okay, so
Mhm.
we're at the hour mark, but I really want this question to get looked at too, and it kind of comes
Back
on
around.
the back end of this. It's important to me though. So if the Alliance is taking care of the cartel control, do they also have a plan for helping the addicts? I'm concerned what this will look like.
Oh, we're gonna definitely let Crystal do some
Yeah.
shuffling on this.
This is such an
Cause
important
that's
topic
so
to me.
close to her heart. It's always been mattered to her a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, I was just having some big conversations about this the other day with one of my guests, because it's like, what's the plan here? What's the plan with this growing
It's gonna put us
epidemic?
in it. Yeah.
And I call it the zombie apocalypse to a certain extent. Not that I have nothing but respect, care for these people that have come into the path of darkness in this lifetime. Okay. We're doing that.
Yeah, you can put the bigger one on if you want. I feel like it's ready. Don't need to cut the cards or anything.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is interesting. This is actually very interesting. I get to speak. I get to do a little shout out to some dear friends of mine that are in the process of designing an incredible organization called Healing Forest Sanctuary, which I'm on the advisory board of. And there are going to be a lot of different extraordinary models for it's not about like old treatment. That basically it's a model where treatment happens in nature, and it's all about not just treating a short-term issue, like, getting someone off the drug, but actually putting them back into a direct relationship with spirituality, with nature, so that they don't just end up back on the streets and back in treatment again, because it's the broken system is what creates this dark path.
Well, the broken system and the cartel,
Yeah.
the cartel also, which is the medical system,
Right.
what's funneling also these substances in as well. So
I think that there isn't necessarily a game plan, but what there is money to put at game plans. They're going to be they're going to almost like open it up to us and say,
nice.
What ideas do you guys have?
Yeah.
We'll fund it.
Yeah.
We will give you grants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All over the world, there's going to be like, we want your ideas, and give us a proposal, we'll fund your project. And I think projects like this, Healing Forest Society, Healing Forest Sanctuary, is one of many that are going to be global initiatives and they're not centralized. It's not like, we have one solution for every part of the world. No, every part of the world is different. There's going to be different strengths and challenges in each
system,
region,
country.
So it's like, and we're designing Healing Forest Society sanctuaries as eco-villages, as healthy ecosystems. It's not just about treating these, very challenged individuals. It's about reintegrating all the strongest, healthiest systems that nature and humanity have, and creating a whole new model. Yeah. Okay, so yes. So we're not going to go back to old styles of treatment. And we already know because they didn't work, right?
Yeah.
We already know. It's kind of like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. But there's going to be a lot of, look at this, King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Yes to money that finances new innovative projects and models of treatment and recovery. Beautiful. Beautiful. So they have plans to invest in our creative solutions is the answer to the question. Yeah.
Incredible. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened here.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know. All of these gifted a membership, gifted a membership, gifted a
Ooh,
membership.
something going on? You want to let us know what's happening there,
Yeah.
folks?
What? Not clear what this means. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wonder if there might be some kind of a something got did we get a little AI hack happening there, folks? Sorry about that.
I don't know if Think Molly is an AI hack though. Okay, well we're about to wrap up anyhow.
Yeah,
So
we'll look into it.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that, and
Yeah.
you gotta laugh it off, right?
Yeah, but thank you for that question. Because and I love that answer. And I think that there's a whole lot of new ways forward, just like our responses to, a lot of the other systems out there. So yeah. Blessings, everyone.
Yes.
Blessings.
Have a beautiful rest of your day, rest of your week. We look forward to seeing you again here next week, same time, and also possibly on the Monday for my live forecast.